Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Who do we got in the chat this morning? Sneeps, Dora greater than Swiper. All right. I guess there was some Dora Explorer discussion last night on playback based on these comments. That's what I'm getting at here. Shout out to everybody that tuned in on playback. Heard you guys had some technical difficulties there towards the end of the night during crunch time, which is kind of brutal. Snoop Blue letting us know happy National Proofreading Day. It's happy birthday to Kenny the Jet Smith from the Common Man. We got Roy in the chat. Let's go, Daniel Pedros here. Matic how are we feeling after the Korean barbecue last night? Wait, stayed up until 6:30 a.m. yesterday watching the Celtics play for them to lose. Sad times. Yeah, we'll talk about that game. I stayed up late for that one too. Not 6:30 a.m. late, but I did stay up late and finish that game. It was a fun one. Good basketball all around last night. Like, we had some fun stuff to talk about before we dive into it, though. A couple things we gotta get into. Busy day today. Busy day. Over on the Team Hold So Rare channel, we already put up the fast break first look video that for today's, I believe it's 40 field goals made and 5 steals. So that video is already up. If you're a VIP, we'll get the VIP stream up later this afternoon for the projections from Momentum Labs for breaking down the fast break slate. On the So Rare side of things, at 5:30 p.m., we've got Live Before Lock. If you're a VIP, we have Live After Dark at 6:30. And then our second episode ever of Team Hold Racing on our YouTube channel, Team Hold Racing, at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're breaking down the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, me and James. So get over there. A lot of content coming at you today. I'm going to sound awful tomorrow, most likely, but looking forward to it. Lirio Snoop Loop said cash fast break with Steph and no Ant. Thanks for the content. There you go. You love to see it. Snoop Loop's out there. Yeah, honestly, the first look, it gives you a good feel for what the slate's going to look like, but the projections are where the sweet fire come in. But we have so many good games last night. It was really a fun night of basketball. We also hit a pick'em last night. Let's go see the results of that bad boy. We had a fun one. Had a nice little sweat throughout the entire evening. We had the let's see where it was. The Ant-Man special of higher than 26.5 points. He dropped 34. We had Big Nick Claxton finish with 41 points. We needed to hit 37. Halliburton got to 44. He needed to hit 41.5. Kuminga had 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He gets to 31. And then Nikola Jokic with 23 rebounds and assists needed to get 21.5. Love to see it. 10 to win 200. That was fun. We also had a good semi-successful night over in the drafting streets as well. So we'll draft up another pick'em here in a little bit. But let's actually start with Anthony Edwards. I know, like, you're probably like, oh, we're gonna start, but he's a Celtics fan. Celtics Nuggets game of the night. We got to start with Ant-Man. That was incredible. Like, so yesterday, was that while we were live during the NBA bit that Cat's meniscus? I think we were live yesterday. So Cat goes down, And it's, that sucks. You don't want to see that happening. Whether you're a Wolves fan or not, this Minnesota Timberwolves season has been like exciting for them. And it sucks that that's how that had to wrap up for Cat. It sounds like they report, I think Chris Haynes reported it at halftime at one of the games, or I forget who reported it last night during the TNT broadcast, but that it is torn. He is going to he is undergoing surgery, but it sounds like he might be back in time for the playoffs. But I just keep thinking of Joel Embiid and what he looks like when he comes back for the playoffs, because I think he had a similar thing, right? And I hope he's able to come back healthy and he's good to go. But so that happens. And I watched a lot of this game because I had a lot of Ant-Man in drafts. And Anthony Edwards, like right away, this is actually while the 89 Cavs were going on, which if you missed the 89 Cavs last night, go back and listen to that show. A minute into the game, Anthony Edwards looks like he rolls an ankle, goes right to the locker room. I see that alert pop up. I'm like, come on. Like, how poor can these guys run? Ant-Man comes back in, then gets dinged up again. I believe it was a shoulder at the end of the first, goes back to the locker room, and then he comes back again. And then, I mean, everybody's throwing the Jordan comparison around. He just turned into a killer in the fourth quarter and there was no, I believe, I think I saw this in Good Morning It's Basketball, the newsletter. I don't think the lead stretched more than 5 points between the Wolves and the Pacers for like the last 15 minutes of the game. Back and forth, back and forth. And I mean, anytime they needed a bucket, Ant-Man went up there and knocked something down. I mean, whether it was a jumper, whether it was getting to the rack, like he just did everything. But then, I mean, the highlight of the night with the Wolves up 2, time winding down, last possession of the game, Pacers on what appears to be a fast break, going up for a layup, and then Anthony Edwards jumps out of the gym, jumps so high that he hits his head on the rim. Great post-game interview with Ant, where just kind of talking about how he's like, yeah, my head really hurts, and my ankle hurts, my body hurts, my everything hurts, but he's like just thrilled that he got that block. It was incredible. One of the cooler things I think I've ever seen. I've watched that highlight like 45 times now. It was just amazing watching him sky up there. So Ant finishes the game with 44 points and 6 boards, a couple of dimes as well. Rudy at 18 and 14. Halliburton slowly seeming like he's back. He had 23 and 13, and then Siakam had 24 and 4. These are big wins for Minnesota now as we go down the stretch here in the West, with Cat going to be missing games. Like no game is a gimme for Minnesota. Like their defense is still going to be legit. I think we're going to see some pretty big Anthony Edwards numbers down the stretch as long as he's healthy. I know they're on a back-to-back tonight. They play Cleveland, but no win is guaranteed. Not like wins were guaranteed with Cat there, but obviously the road gets a little bit harder, and they want to keep home court advantage as long as they can, whether that's just in the first round or if they can finish in the top 2 and guarantee home court advantage for at least 2 rounds. So they're still up there. They're still atop the Western Conference after that win. We'll see how they fare against Cleveland tonight. But man, what a performance from Ant. Really, truly incredible stuff. Good win for them. Let's save Nuggets Celtics for let's roll through some of these other games, right? So Detroit wins 118-112. How about the Pistons, baby? Red hot Detroit basketball. Let's get a drop for Detroit, huh? Let's get a drop.
Detroit basketball. Detroit basketball.
What a win for them. Cade Cunningham was awesome. Cade was awesome. So he had 32, 11, and 5. Jaden Ivey had 34. Jalen Duren had a double-double. He had 12 and 14. For the Nets, Dennis Schroeder's been popping. He had 31 and 8. Claxton had 15 and 10 with 3 blocks, and Lonnie Walker had 21 and 4 off the bench. Good win for Detroit. Steve asks, Mike, do you think every NBA team needs a guy like Dean Wade, someone who can knock down shots, change the tide of the war, and look baller while doing so? You know what, Steve? I would argue every team already has one of those guys, whether it's Luke Cornett, Dean Wade, who would be Minnesota's? Monty Morris, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, Pistons got a double-digit wins. This was huge. This was huge for Detroit. Also, I just love that they are now, I believe, I'm going to double-check this right now in real time. I believe they are officially out of the basement here. They have surpassed the Washington Wizards, no longer in last place. It's not all L's under Monty Williams in Detroit. Brooklyn sucks, man. That was another takeaway. Dennis Schroeder just cooking, though. It's hilarious. Like, I love that Dennis is cooking. And he helped me win So Rare Reward, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Miami Heat drop an L. Big L against the Dallas Mavericks, 114-108. That offense looked gross. That, honestly, it was a pretty tough watch. I don't know if they're I know Common Man's in the chat. That was a pretty tough watch throughout the entire, like the first half was gross. Luka couldn't get it going. Jimmy Butler and Bam combined for 28 points. They both had 14. Like scary, like if you just looked at the box score and you saw Terry Rozier went for 27, 11, and 6, you're like, wow, another good win for Miami. But nope, Luka woke up in the second half. He was, because I had a lot of him in drafting as well, and he had like, was like 25 fantasy points at halftime, which is not good for Luka, because Luka's he's like a 70-point machine. And he finishes the game with, I believe, his 5th consecutive 30-point triple-double, 35, 11, and 11. Just like, we got to do a drop for that. We got to do a drop for it, baby. Where is it at? Where's the Luka magic? Luka magic. Matt, I got it. We'll save this. We'll come back to this. Remind me after we do the rest of the basketball. But Dallas was desperate for a win, right? They were stumbling and bumbling all the way down the Western Conference standings. They needed that W so bad. They're now 5-5 in their last 10. Yeah, Exum was key in the fourth. Exum was solid. He's just a fun spark plug to have, especially when like Dallas so badly needs somebody else to step up. When Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting like 9%. I mean, Kyrie was fine last night. What was his final line? Was 23, 4, and 4, but like not super. He was just fine. They just need somebody, whether it's Josh Green, whether it's a big PJ Washington game. They need somebody to pop. Last night it was XM for him. But yeah, tough loss for Miami too, which, you know, battling to get like home court advantage here. They're now a game and a half behind the Magic. They're still 7-3 in their last 10. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. They were on the road. Dallas was desperate. But tough L for the Heat culture. The offense just sucked, though. That was really a tough watch. Like, they just looked broken out there offensively. And I think I saw, too, again, to reference the Tom Ziller Good Morning, It's Basketball newsletter. I believe they're like 25th in offense or something right now. It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross performance from the offense. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not worried. It's still Miami. I think they were terrible last year offensively and then went to the finals. So Suns and Raptors, we the North, hanging on for a little bit. Wait, Pedro saying Gafford might pop today with probably Lively being out. Big up for minutes to Gafford, and I can like watch him play with Luka times. Yeah, dude, I didn't know Gafford. The biggest problem with Gafford right now is they just have so many bigs that they can throw out there, right? So like Lively plays 20 minutes, Gafford plays 18 minutes, PJ plays the 5. You still got freaking Maxi Kleber out there as well. That's always Gafford when he gets the minutes is awesome. So totally agree with that. But Suns and Raptors, this was a fun one just because Toronto kept this close enough. Grayson Allen, guys. Grayson Allen, 26 points, and he was like cooking in the first half, went off in the first half. It was just like crazy that the season Grayson's having. I saw a comparison about like how much Grayson is getting paid versus how much Bradley Beal's get paid and putting their numbers side by side. Beal did have a fine game, though. He had 20 and 8, KD had 35. Emmanuel Quickly, though, almost had a big game. 21 points, 18 dimes, and 9 boards. Again, shout out Emmanuel Quickly for the So Rare lineup. Gary Trent Jr. dropped 30, but Suns get the W. Nurk had a big rebounding game, but was in foul trouble for most of it. Felt like he could have gotten to 50. But shout out Toronto keeping this close enough that the starters stayed in. Last 2 night games before we get to Celtics Nuggets. Chicago Bulls go into Golden State. Granted, Golden State on a back-to-back. Go into Golden State and get the W, 125-122. Actually, Bulls are on a back-to-back too, so I take it back. DeRozan, 33-8-4. Vucci Main, 33-11-5. Kobe Whitehead, 20. Clay led the Warriors with 25 off the bench. Kuminga had 19 and 10. Draymond Green had a Ben Simmons line, 11, 12, and 10. And then Steph Curry with 15. Only 15 points from Steph. Weird game from him. But, Chicago, they got off to such a bad start, and they're now only 1 game under 500. 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 3 in a row. I mean, they're not going to, I don't think they catch the Pacers or the Sixers or anything like that. But shout out to the Bulls, man. They're at least fun, They screwed up a rebuild for sure they screwed up the rebuild. They probably should have made some moves and didn't. But if you're a Bulls fan, at least you get to enjoy this, right? They're at least a fun sweat every night. I feel like they're going to lose a lot of close games if they get into the playoffs. But Boston base is still perfect in fast break. Speaking of fast break, I let me know. Like, I feel like the numbers have been going down view wise on the First Look show that I've been doing, and I'm wondering if less people are doing that, or maybe they're just like clicking buttons and they don't care about it as much as they did early on. I'm like, maybe I just do the VIP stuff. Anyways, I'm thinking out loud. Maybe I just do the VIP stuff moving forward. We'll see. I'll monitor the numbers. I just don't want to do it for like 35 views. It's a lot of work. All right, let's Bulls get the win. The weird game though last night, Kings and Spurs was a weird one. Spurs up huge. Wait, what do you mean the schedule is a bit confusing? Which schedule? Like the fast break schedule or my schedule? It's every morning. That feels pretty normal. Kings win 131-129. Devin Vassell was awesome in this game. No Wemby. No Wemby was crazy. Like, the fact that this ended up being a close game without Wembanyama was nuts. And honestly, the Spurs should have won this game. They gave this thing away. They gave it away. Boston base is literally every morning before the NBA bet. Almost every single morning before the NBA bet. And then I also tweet about it and put it in the Discord. So feels like on you know what I'm saying? Vassell was nuts. Collins had 22, 7 and 4. Keldon had 22 off the bench. Branham had 23 off the bench. But Monk and Fox down the stretch were pretty great. Monk finished with 18, 9 and 7. Fox 33, 5 and 5. Sabonis had 31, 17 and 9. I think that the 33, 5 and 5, I'd like from Fox. Again, he was just so broken down the stretch before the All-Star game, the All-Star break. I don't know if he was hurt or what, but that break did him good because he has been awesome since coming back. Been great. But the last game of the night, Celtics and Nuggets. Dude, this is the thing. Like, I think a lot of the discourse, there has to be like hard reactions to every single game, right? And we do it for other teams. So I'm not like making excuses for Boston, but Denver wins. And we're like, this is the best team of all time. Celtics lose. We're like, they're broken until they can win a championship. They're not clutch, all this stuff, right? I didn't obviously Tatum did not have a good game. I'll run through the numbers quickly. Brown had 41 and 14. Porzingis 24 and 12. Tatum finished with 15. The Celtics only had 10 bench points. Jokic though, 32, 12 and 11. Murray had 19, 8 and 6. Gordon 16 and 9. Peyton Watson with 11 off the bench. And so, you can listen. Jokic had a great game. Jaylen Brown had a great game. Jamal Murray had a so-so game. Tatum had a so-so game. I think I just think Denver is the defending champs. They were at home and they're a really good team. And I don't think this is panic mode. I guess if the Celtics didn't drop that weird ass game to Cleveland the other night, it'd be less of a story. But and people were like, "Oh, Tatum's not clutch." He missed a tough three there. That was a wide open corner three. That was a great shot. It was a great. I kind of wish they would have Jaylen Brown felt like he could. It was a weird pass from Tatum to Brown on that last when they were down 2 with under a minute left. But Tatum misses a wide open corner three, and I honestly watching that whole game, it seemed like Denver could just get their stuff so much easier. Every single Celtics bucket felt like mud, like that they were really grinding through. Drew Holiday hit 2 tough threes there down the stretch that kept him in the game. And the fact that they even had a shot at tying or winning that game with under a minute left, I was surprised by it, because really from the end of the second quarter on, it felt like Denver was by far the better team. So it was a really good win for Denver. I think it's a reminder, because Denver, even though they have been atop the Western Conference, somewhere between 1 and 4 this entire season, I think a lot of us have felt like they've been coasting a little bit. And this is a reminder that they're nah, dude, they're really good. Denver's really good. And I think this is why you're seeing them they want to secure home court advantage, and they're going to continue to grind out these W's here down the stretch. But yeah, I don't think it's panic mode for Boston. I mean, they hung tight with them throughout the whole game. I think this would be a fun final series. I would love to see both of them. So, Sneeps, you're talking about the goaltender. Are you talking about the pass that went off the backboard that Gordon like gutted off the backboard? I actually don't know if that was a goaltend because that wasn't in the cylinder, right? Because he caught it off the backboard, but it was off to the right. I mean, it's the same thing as when they like you pass it to yourself off the backboard and throw it down, right? Right? Isn't that just a rebound? I didn't think he was in the cylinder. I didn't see a ton of replays on it though, so maybe I'm wrong. Um, Celtics shot from garbage from 3 and we're still in it. No, it's still a good win for Denver. They beat the best team in the NBA. That's still a good win. I Denver also shot poorly from 3. So, yeah, the text. I will say, you want to the technical fouls on Tony Brothers were gross. Those were so stupid, right? Because he called one. Did he call one on Malone, Jokic, Brown, and who was the other Celtic that got one? Oh no, it was Gordon, not Malone. Who was the other? I think Brown got one, and there was another Celtic that got one. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Tony. Yeah, it was weird. He's done that a couple of times this year too, with these texts just being just terribly called. It was on Porzingis. Okay, thank you. But I could say, like, if I take my Celtics fandom hat off for a little bit, I loved watching that game. A game was fun. That was a fun game, and Jokic is awesome. Jokic is awesome. Oh, wait, the ball bounced off the backboard, then Watson hit it. How the fuck is that a block? Oh, that one. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about there was one where Gordon got one off the yeah, I missed that one, Sneeds. But that man, that this would be a fun series. This would be a fun series. Jokic is awesome. Jokic is so awesome. That's just like the takeaway every time. And that's going to be a real problem for the Celtics because like Porzingis can't guard him, right? I mean, we saw that every time Porzingis got put on him, Jokic was like, fine, I'm just going to put my body into you. I'm going to back you all the way down, and then I'm going to turn around and either get a nice finish because he's got such soft touch around the rim, or he's going to just drop it off to Gordon, who's going to get an easy dunk. Every single time it happened. And then Horford didn't really play that many minutes. I think he only had 19 off the bench. We saw a lot of Xavier Tillman. Yeah, I don't know. Boston Bay said you were the only one watching. Everybody was focused on Spanish bingo for Jaeger shots. There you go. Huge Jaylen Brown game, though, just to give Jaylen Brown some love. He was attacking, and it wasn't just settling for 3. He was attacking the rim, getting to the line. Really good stuff. Really good stuff from JB. It was really fun. Let's look at the standings here quickly as we apparently are rifling through the show today. We've had a lot of like 6-game slates this week, I've noticed. So here we go. Here's the standings here after last night's NBA action. So the Celtics drop a game, so they are now 48-14. First time this entire season they've lost 2 games in a row, which I thought was kind of nuts. They're 48-14, 7.5 game lead over the Bucks, who have a half game lead over the Cavs. The Magic in the 4 seed now, with the Knicks a half game behind them. Heat dropped to the 6 seed, a full game behind the Knickerbockers. Then you get the Sixers, Pacers, Bulls, and Hawks. Who cares about the rest? In the West, with the Timberwolves win, they now have a half game lead over the Thunder. Nuggets gain a half game on the Thunder because the Thunder didn't play, but there's still 1 loss behind them in the loss column. Clippers now 3 games back, 2 games back from Denver. And then you get the Pellies and the Suns just a half game back from the Pellies. Kings a game and a half ahead of the Mavs in the 7-8 seed. And then the Warriors dropping a game, half game behind Dallas. Lakers also, half game behind. No, game and a half behind Dallas. So are the Lakers. So fun stuff there. Fun stuff. We love to see it. We got some fun action tonight, too. What do we got here? On tonight's games, we have New Orleans plays Philly at 7. We got Charlotte and Washington. Minnesota on a back-to-back against Cleveland. No Cat, no Mobley, no Mitchell. So that's too bad. It still should be a fun game. Orlando, New York, Atlanta, Memphis. Miami on a back-to-back against OKC. And then you got Milwaukee and the Lakers, Houston, and Portland. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. The West playing will be insane. Boston Bay says, did you see Austin Rivers mad ESPN had him talking Lakers? No, I missed it. I totally missed it. But shout out Austin Rivers, I guess, for getting mad. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let's take a quick underdog. Actually, let's do a So Rare ad read, and then we'll go pop over to So Rare here for a minute and check out what's going on over there. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by So Rare. Daily fantasy sports is annoying. Constantly paying attention to injury news, who's starting, who's sitting, and just having to remember to enter your lineups each and every day. With So Rare, you just have to enter your lineup once for each game week. And instead of having to pay an entry fee each time you enter a contest with So Rare, once you buy your cards, the tournaments are free. Each game week, you'll have a chance to win more card rewards to bolster up your roster. And this year, So Rare is introducing cash prizes. So sign up for So Rare today using the link in the description, and they'll start you with 20 free common cards. And by using our link, once you buy 5 cards from auction, they'll give you a 6th free. So sign up for So Rare today and see if you can take down Mike Sorarian. Alrighty, let's go check. So this is my squad from this past game week. I'm going to start with limited contender because this was the funniest one for me. Funniest one for me in limited contender. Where is it? I just lost my spot. Here we go. We finished 664th for tier 4. Look at this. We got 94 from Şengün, 66 from IQ, 37 from Cameron Johnson, 15 from Taylor Hendricks, DNP from Jordan Goodwin. We won a tier 4 with a freaking 0. With the 0, we took down a tier 4. But my rare contender was a fun one because last night I was not even winning a reward. And then IQ went nuts, and then so did Dennis Schroeder. So we got 51 from Franz, 63 from Freddie, Dennis Schroeder with 50, Bryce with 37, and IQ with 72. We finished 20th, so we squeak in to the tier 2. And let's do our weekly what the hell is going on with these rewards, because it's always a good time. Let's look at some tier 2 rewards on So Rare. Amen Thompson, what the fuck? Bilal Coulibaly, what the fuck? Brandon Pajemski, what the fuck? Benedict Mathurin, what the fuck? Cam Thomas, what the fuck? Let's see what else we got. Cason Wallace, what the fuck? Dante Exum, what the fuck? Derek Lively, what the fuck? Let's see. Anybody else? Tier 2s that feel stupid? Let's see. These all Keegan Murray, what the fuck? Let's see. That might be it for what the fucks. That might and Tyler Hero, who's not really playing. That's our what the fuck corner there for the tier 2s. Let's see if there are any dumb tier 1s. Tier 1s seem to actually make sense. There we go. Tier 1s are good. Rooks are pumping because of the Rook tourney is coming soon. Yeah, I guess. So that was my my rare dub. And then common, we won a tier 2 in both pickup and in common all defense, finishing 386 and 3,000. Did I miss the Asar Thompson as a tier 1? Did I miss that? Let's go build a lineup for this coming game week. I'll build my rare contender here as game week 38, the last time we have all defense, I believe. Let's do my rare contender. So I actually think I might be able to squeeze in Kyrie Irving this game week, but we'll see here. If we start, I think Emmanuel Quickley's, if he had 2 games this game week, I'd play IQ at 37. But let's see. I think we might start Fred. Actually, we might have to go Fred. We got to start with Fred. And then I do think Dennis is probably going to be a play this week. Can we go down to, we might have to go. So we could go Micic because there's no Trey Mann, I don't think. We could go Micic, Sensabaugh again, and then go all the way up to Kyrie. So we could do Kyrie and Micic, or what if we take him out? Kyrie and Micic, or I bet we could probably, we could do Franz. How many games does Franz have? Yeah, Franz with 2 games. You probably have to play him. And then we have 27 left. We could do Kuminga. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to mess around with that. We'll see what the projections say a little bit later today. We'll see what those are cooking. Let's go over to underdog. Let's do a pick 'em for today. Let's do a pick 'em for today, and then we can get into the Top Shot $1,400 packs or whatever. All right, so let's do NBA. All right, so let's see, New Orleans and Philly. We got no Maxey again, right? Because he's battling he's in the concussion protocol or whatever. Man, Tobias Harris has been so bad for Philly. So I don't really want to do anything with that. I don't know. I have no read on this game. No read on this game whatsoever. Washington against Charlotte. What about a Tyus Jones double-double? How do we feel about a Tyus Jones double-double? Super Carl said went from 19th to 46 in limited champ overnight. 1.72 away from falling out of tier 1. There you go, but you're still in tier 1, right? I think I'm going to roll with the Tyus Jones double-double. I think he's due against Charlotte. I also think I also kind of like Brandon Miller over 20.5 points. Kind of seems fun against Washington here. I don't hate that. So there we go. Ty's double-double, Brandon Miller over. There we go. Little correlation in this game. I feel like that should be pretty high scoring. Is Bagley still out? Do we still have no Bagley? Because I kind of want to mess around with Denny rebounds. What's Denny's rebounds? 8.5's a lot. 8.5's a lot. At that point, you might as well just do the double-double. All right, let's find a couple more. And 29.5 points seems about right. What's Jared Allen's rebounds? Jared Allen against Rudy Gobert should be fun. Let's do it, though. 11.5 boards for Jared Allen. No Evan Mobley. Should be out there balling. Daniel said the guy went 18th from 44th because had Sabonis and MVP, and the people with Jokic and Luka jumped up. Yeah. I mean, they both went off last night. All right, so far we get Ty's double-double, Brandon Miller over 20.5, Allen over 11.5 boards. I don't really have a good read on Orlando versus the Knicks tonight, if I'm being honest. I don't have a good read on that. Shea against Miami. I feel like Shea over 30.5. It feels like easy money. I mean, Shea over 30.5. We're doing that. Although my only concern is maybe, well, I'm not going to say it. Also, Bam rebounds. Bam 10.5 boards. Only battling against Chet, right? All right. Or any red flags here? Ty's double-double. Brandon Miller 20.5 points. Jared Allen 11.5 boards. SGA 30.5 points. Bam over 10.5 boards. What's that? 10 to win 300? Shall we? Let's do it. Boom. Oh, come on. Is it going to make me do that all over again? Let's try again. There we go. Share the picks. Boom. Put it in the chat right now. All right, going back to what Matic Auto said too, and then we'll wrap up. I get another efficient show. What's going on here? Maybe I need to do a better job. So the 14, it's $1,499 packs. Before I even talk about that, you know what is killing me? What is killing me here? I'm killing me softly with his love. Let's go. I want to go over to Top Shot Tony tweeted something out yesterday that I thought was pretty important here. Ooh, wow, Boston Base. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Boston Base. So let's go look at this. This was hilarious to me. So somebody tweets something out about Top Shot, and then in like an organized 2021 or 2020 Web3 campaign, everybody just responds with "Make NBA Top Shot great again." Like, what are you cucks doing? What is this? Seriously, guys, what is this? What is going on? But anyways, $1,499 for a pack seems crazy to me. Listen, I'm not deep enough into the streets to know. It feels like every pack that they've done has been profitable for the last X amount of months. So I don't know, but to me, it seems crazy to be asking for that much money in this economy. I don't know. What do you guys think? What does the chat think? Like, Boston Base, I know you are deep in it. What is your take on that? I see Weisberg in the chat scene seems pretty out of touch. Yeah. Buying to flip, it's a greedy price. But so you think it is going to be profitable, Stan? You think it will be profitable? Well, also, Stan, I see that you stayed out of the Miami discourse. So you waited till we were done talking about it. Gouging because of Wemby. I do wonder, right? Because I think a lot of what made this season profitable for people, and most notably for Top Shot, is that they were able, like Wemby, Chet, really just Wemby and Chet, right? whether it's their legendary, like any of the quick rips were all basically like, oh, dude, you're going to try to get a Wemby legendary or Wemby rare or Wemby common, right? But like next year's rookie class is so bad. So is this like their last hurrah at that? Garen was saying $14.99 is priced for flippers, not collectors. So in a way, we've made Top Shot great again. Well, there you go. And the gem packs are 2K and secondary. 1,500 makes sense, but they need to go that high, in my opinion. VIP's mad it isn't gated. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get what you're saying. That I just think at some point it's profitable till it's not. I mean, there you go. There's your moment of zen for the day. But listen, I hope everybody that gets it crushes. I hope it crushes. But that it does seem wild to spend. I mean, that's the most I've ever seen a pack go for, right? Like even in its heyday, I think $10.99 was the highest I saw. Wasn't that like a finals pack back in the day? It was like $1,099, something like that. Or maybe it was just $9.99. Either way, seems intense. But good luck to everybody who's getting it. Boston base, you have a guaranteed pack. I'll sit on a bit and see how the market goes. Yeah. Or does anyone still do projections on how much the like EV of stuff is? Does John? I guess John probably still does it. I don't see people talking about that anymore. I did see the Badge County video. I feel like you got to put ad or partnership on that, no? But I did see that video. But yeah, I mean, best of luck if you're going after it. You get 30% back on pack purchases from VIP promo. No, that's great, man. I'm glad you do. You listen, you spend the most money on it. You might as well get a little something out of it. I love it. Oh yeah, Diamond. That's right, Diamond. Yeah, but he doesn't do projecting of what it's going to be worth, right? He just tweets out an hour before Top Shot does what the packs are. Super Carl asks if we have any guests on live before lock tonight. I think so. I think George is back in action again, and I think TST might be back from vacation. I'll have to check in with TST. But we should have somebody. Why, Carl? You not tuning in if I don't have guests? No, we should have guests. But yeah, just a reminder, live before lock is at 5:30, live after dark right after it for the VIPs. And then what do we got? The Team Hold Racing show too. I thought the EV analysis by Badge County was good content. Hashtag ad. Yo, yeah, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was bad. Listen, get after it. I'm sure they're getting paid in packs or Dapper or something like that. So get after it. Get after it, baby boy. All right, let's see. We're up to 11 views on that video from this morning. The hell yeah. That's great. We're crushing it. Content is gold, baby. But yeah, tune into Team Hold Racing. I'm going to drop a link to that in the chat. If you haven't subscribed to that, please go do it. Let's get this up to 30. I'm lowering my standards now. Let's get it up to 30 by the end of the day. Go subscribe. We have a fun little show for you this afternoon. And then other than that, I hope you guys have a good weekend. If you are, if you're a VIP, we'll have both live after dark and another fast break stream. And then this weekend, you'll have some fast break content too. Good stuff. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out. We will catch you a little bit later this afternoon. Go basketball.